welcome back. It's 2021, the worst year ever is behind us, and now we can start to work on the next worst year ever. But today I want to talk about the first new comic book day of the year, January the 6th, 2021, and there's a lot of cool books on my list. So before I ramble too long, don't forget to like and subscribe. I assure you this is probably the worst it's going to get. With the new year, I want to kind of try to keep my mind open a little bit more and be open to more surprises and unique things, different things. And I guess what I really want to focus on is finding the smaller hidden gems within the worst of what I come across. So, Future State is coming up quick. This is a DC thing, and a lot of people already hate it. But I do love the idea that they're giving new talent an opportunity to shine and do something different. So I'm going to go ahead and start by picking up The Flash Future State #1 and see what it's all about and see what these new creators are doing, what they're spotlighting, and try to identify some of this strong talent earlier. I don't know what I'm actually expecting going into Future State Flash #1. But what I do know is I'm going to go into it with an open mind and see what's going on and see if maybe there isn't some silver lining to all of this. The other book that I'm not so sure I'm going to pick up, but I'm looking at Unearthed #9. This is a book, just a few videos ago I did Unearthed #8, and I'm still a little behind on that. Who knows if I'll ever get caught up. But I really like how the book started. I really like the creative team, and I want to continue that story. So I might pick this up in trade down the line. I might go ahead and grab 9 because I would like to reread the whole series and get caught up. It's been a while since I've read any of it, but I did read all the way through 6. So I hate to drop a series early just because I'm a little behind. So we'll see what happens with that. Is the best I can give you on that one. Scouts Honor #1 and Ninja Nuns #1 are both dropping this week. Scouts Honor is really cool to me because I've watched David Pepos talk about it quite a bit on everybody else's channels. I would recommend Bearded Comic Bro. He did a great interview with David, and they explained the premise very well in that video. Essentially, in a future, like, I guess post-apocalypse, as the world's rebuilding, there's basically kind of like this cult that rises up that is basing their entire existence on the Boy Scout handbook. And so I grew up as a Boy Scout, so I kind of know what's going on with all of that as far as like what it all means to them. And so it's kind of become their Bible and their guiding light for their lives, in this apocalypse. And everything's kind of getting twisted, basically. And so that really interests me. Again, I like David Pepos. I like his writing. I think he's a phenomenal interview. And again, Bearded Comic Bro has a great interview with him. So go check that out if you want to know more about that book. But I think his previous successes, stuff like Spencer and Locke and Going to the Chapel, even his Kickstarter, the OZ, really took off. So David Pepos is a guy to be watching anyway, and this concept sounds awesome to me, so I'm definitely going to be checking out Aftershock's release of Scouts Honor #1. And then I recently did an interview with Bob France and Kevin Cuff, who wrote and kind of created the Metal Shark Bro books, and phenomenal reads, but the Ninja Nuns appear in those books, and they're spin-off characters. And so this is just like a really fun way that they came up with to kind of keep the franchise moving while they're building toward that big Volume 3 that everybody's so excited for. So I would suggest checking out Ninja Nuns. It's a Scout book. I know a lot of people are starting to develop a certain affinity for Scout books. So if nothing else, it's a Scout #1 that you should check out. But definitely the talent behind it. Check out my interview with them if you want to know more about Ninja Nuns and just who they are and how awesome and phenomenal of people they are. But that's Ninja Nuns, Bad Habits Die Hard #1. That's out January the 6th as well. And then the next 3 books I want to touch on, all more than likely are going to fall into Thursday night powered up chat with Burke Family 54 Comics and the gang, whoever's there. Um, the first one I'm going to talk about a little bit, crossover number 3. I was pretty, I was pretty open about how I didn't really feel like crossover number 1. It didn't catch my interest. It didn't really seem to do much of anything other than introduce a potentially interesting world, but then just kind of leave it at our doorstep and not really do anything with it. But crossover number 2 really picked up the ball there and just like took off. I really liked what happened in the second one. I like how they reference other characters and other worlds. The way they were kind of finally expanding a little bit on these characters. We had this new like hero, villain, anti-hero setup. So we don't know exactly what's going on in this world, but it definitely got more interesting. And I'm excited to see where Donny Cates takes that with the third one. There's of course the whole like Spawn and will he or won't he cross over with other characters and all that. That we suspect we're going to get a pretty good answer on in crossover number 3. So this is definitely a speculator book. If you want to read it, you're probably going to have ordered it because I imagine it's going to sell out quick. But whatever you can do, get a copy. I think this is going to turn into something really interesting with this third book. Thor number 11. Now this book, I was pretty open about feeling like these 2 filler issues they weren't my cup of tea. I really didn't enjoy them, and then we got into the Donald Blake stuff, and the first one kind of like caught my interest again. I was like, okay, maybe Thor's moving back in an interesting direction. But Thor number 10, that second issue of Prey, was just, chef's kiss. It was so good. I love the way that Donald Blake comes back. He's got a scalpel, he's a surgeon, and he's got all of Thor's powers, and he takes them to class. He takes them to school, and he literally cut the sword from Lady Siv's hands. So, feel about that how you will. I'm really into it. I'm excited to see what's going to happen with Donald Blake in Thor number 11, Prey Part 3. And then Firepower number 7. This has been a book that I think we've all loved on the Thursday night powered up chat. I know most people are into it. This should begin the second arc, so I'm excited to see where that's going to go. What the whole setup is there. There's a lot of side switching going on right now, so I'm interested to see where everybody lands on that scale, because we saw, I believe his name is Wei Lin, we saw him kind of play Owen as the fool and get one over on him. So Owen thinks that he's dead now, and that's really going to spark something in Owen, I think, to like go back and get revenge. And I think this is what's going to be the catalyst to launch him into the adventure of this second arc. Maybe the family's going back to the mountains. I think that would be really cool and interesting. I really like the art. Chris Samney made a lot of my lists for 2020 as far as some of my favorite storytelling, some of my favorite artwork, the way he expresses characters and stuff. So I'm excited to see where this story continues to go. I don't see it dropping off because I think they've set up a really interesting scenario where we still want to know more about Owen and what's going to happen with this dragon. Is the dragon real? Like, there's so many questions there that I'm excited to find out even more. And that's what makes this book so good to me, is like every issue, like I want more, but I never feel like I'm not getting answers, So Kirkman's progressing things well. The art is doing a fantastic job of telling the story in each issue. And so I can't wait to read that one. This is a big week. January the 6th, this is the first new comic book day of the year. 2021, going in brand new. So I'm excited to read a lot of these. What is everybody looking forward to? I think the most controversial question on my list is probably The Flash. So why don't you want to do the future state thing? Or why do you? Do you believe that it's going to work? Anything about it, just let me know. Watch my interview with Bob France and Kevin Cuff, and go grab Ninja Nuns. Scout Tonor, of course, this book looks incredible. And then Thor, Firepower, and Crossover have been some great reads so far, and I can't wait to see where they go from here. So let me know in the comments, what books are you waiting for? What is on your list that's not on my list? What should be on my list? And what do you think about these picks? Until next time, keep flipping pages.